Oh, my holy mother of alien nonsense. The only man who managed to get out of Area 51 alive has finally revealed what he saw in there. And did you see people who caught on fire in the area? Yes, it's a really big deal, okay? I have something to tell you all. And I don't know about you, but I've always wanted to know what's really inside Area 51. And our speculations have finally come to an end. Because this man you're seeing in this image, he was the only man to come out of there alive. And he broke the silence and finally decided to talk about what he saw there. And I'll tell you right now, guys, it's heavy stuff, okay? So let's go, everyone. Let's get into another live because we don't have time to waste. And today I don't have time for lectures either, okay? I'm Carol Kappel, your favorite alien, not alienated and not imprisoned in any secret facility of any government, okay? Welcome everyone to another live stream that's starting now. And roll the intro now because we don't have any more time to waste. Music. After all, guys, what is the area? Well, it's this place you're seeing right now. And it's located in the middle of the Nevada desert, just 133 kilometers from the city of Las Vegas. And it's in this place that one of the best kept secrets in the history of our planet rests. I'm talking about Area 51, which is officially an air base used for aircraft testing and experiments. It was created at the height of the Cold War. Now, unofficially, however, it is the epicenter of one of the biggest and most persistent conspiracies in modern history. And in fact, in the Illuminati card game, the Area 51 card was removed from the game at the request of the FBI. See, guys, I actually have this game, right? And this game, it's the second edition, right? I don't know if you can see, but it says here, second edition, right? Now, in the first version, which was much more controversial than this second one, there were cards here that were banned by government agencies. Well, I wonder why, right? Well, here on the channel, with the channel members, I'm uncovering the meaning of the hidden cards from this game here. So if you're not a member of this channel yet, come join us, become a member. Why? Because all the members get this exclusive content. So if you become a member now, you'll be able to access the content that has already been posted. And you'll also have access to a lot of content that's posted exclusively here for members. Now, my people, going back to Area 51, it was exactly in this place that two men decided to go in. They dared to enter. One of them disappeared completely, and the other one came back alive. And he got out of there and told us everything, absolutely everything he saw. It's hard to believe, guys, that in the digital age, a place as restricted as Area 51 keeps growing in size, structure, and especially keeps expanding in mystery because the satellite images of the place don't lie, okay? There are 50-meter tall triangular towers that appear out of nowhere, and also very strange X-shaped marks on the ground. Look at this. These marks appear there near Lake Papoose. And it also appears in facilities that were not finished, unfinished facilities. And X also appear like this on maps of paths that lead from nowhere to nowhere. So it's a really weird thing, guys. And Area 51 isn't abandoned. It keeps operating and it keeps growing in size, which is even crazier, right? And especially what we see on the surface, all those towers, those marks on the ground, right? And the facility itself is absolutely nothing compared to what goes on underground, there in Area 51. Because what we see, look, and this photo here shows it well, right? This aerial image, in fact, this image is from 2025. If we look at this here, what do we see? Just warehouses, right? A lot of warehouses are runway over there, and that doesn't mean anything at all. But what's down there in the basement of that facility is something that's really going to completely shock us. So, much more than just aeronautical experiments there, we have something that doesn't justify the amount of sensors underground. The constant surveillance of that area. The real-time tracking radars and snipers that are hidden there, armed patrols that circulate 24 hours a day. So, I'm talking about a place, guys, that has absolute secrecy, and not even the President of the United States has unrestricted access to the complex. For example, Ana Paulina Luna is one of the congresswomen there. And she has already publicly stated that a significant part of the military budget disappears in Area 51, and that the projects that justify this budget are not formally approved. So, like, when not even the generals know exactly what is being done on American soil. The name for this isn't national security anymore, right, guys? Let's agree that the name for all of this is shadow government. And it was within this context of a shadow government, that this guy here, Kane Vitch, a YouTuber and explorer, that's how I would describe him, actually very experienced, approached the perimeter of the Area 51 base in 2013. He was there looking for cave entrances, underground entrances, and according to rumors, these tunnels were interconnected. Area 6, Area 52, which are two complexes neighboring Area 51. Kenny, guys, he had a channel, and it's a pretty old channel, okay? So he documented everything, and he broadcasted all these explorations in real time. But the thing is, there was one specific exploration that went kind of wrong, you know? Why? He claims that he found a cave shaped like an M, and that this cave vibrated intensely. He says it wasn't just a sound vibration, he says it was a physical vibration, and that it could be felt in the bones of his body. And after he found this cave, he went back there to investigate, even though he had warned that this cave was one of the strangest things he had ever seen in his life. Then he went back there to investigate, and no one ever heard from him again. In fact, this news that I'm showing you on the screen talks exactly about that. His car was found miles away from the entrance to the cave. His cell phone was thrown inside an abandoned mine, and no body, no trace was found. There is only absolute silence about this story. And we also had a second man, and this second man is Jerry Freeman, an anthropologist who, in 1996, received authorization from the National Park Service to look for historical inscriptions from explorers who crossed the desert in the 19th century. His mission led him to end up in the Area 51 region. And as crazy as it may seem, he ended up in that part of Area 51 known as Papoose Lake, which is a dry lake. And according to his own accounts, it was in this place that reality began to bend. Because at night he started seeing lights that moved independently, lights that would open and close the center of the lake. At a certain moment, he says it was as if a bluish door appeared out of nowhere. And this door emitted a vibration that he describes as a sensation similar to an earthquake. And after these vibrations stopped, the door disappeared. And it was as if, according to his account, a structure that collapses space-time opened right in front of his eyes. So he said it was as if the structure of space-time had been manipulated. Then the door opened, closed, and the vibration stopped. Now, guys, could it be the same vibration that Kenny felt that day when he disappeared? Well, Freeman, incredibly, he managed to get out of this whole situation alive, maybe even by a miracle. And he reported this whole story to the journalist George Knapp, who had already investigated the Bob Lazar case, that supposed scientist who claims he worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at the S4 facility inside the area. 51, supposedly, according to him, right? He's hiding there in the same place as Lake Papoose. And interestingly, guys, the location described by Jerry, right? It also matches perfectly with Bob Lazar's accounts. And even more, right, folks, to feel that vibration coming from the ground, right? This intense vibration that was reported by Freeman and also by Kenny. So, like, we have three people saying the exact same thing about the exact same place, and I don't think that's a coincidence, especially when it comes to Area 51, right? And especially, guys, the satellite images of Area 51 clearly show connections between Area 51, Area 6, and Area 52. And these connections form a perfect triangle in the desert. And this triangle has the potential to be connected by underground tunnels. Because there are landing strips that are abandoned, and those are supposedly abandoned, right? Because these landing strips, they have inexplicable tire marks, marks that even appear on the dry lake bed of Lake Papoose. So, like, why do these marks appear in a place that's supposedly not being used, right? I wouldn't even say that this place is a military base. I would say it's something more, it's something like alive, right? It's something in motion. And what if you go snooping around Area 51? Now, in 2025 on Google, you'll notice that there are new buildings, right? That there are these triangular towers, and nobody knows the reason why these triangular towers were built. There are also some other buildings, like with bluish roofs, and also unidentified structures, ridiculously tall installations over 50 meters high, and roads that start from nowhere and end nowhere. And not to mention, guys, all these marks in the desert, this X in the desert, guys, the feeling about this area is clear. Okay? We're talking here about something that's not a military secret, but rather we're talking about the creation of an entire underground world, a kind of free zone of reality where reality collapses, right? A place where human laws, political laws, and scientific laws don't apply. And it's exactly here that fear sets in. Because even though the government promises to declassify the documents, like President Donald Trump suggested, right? And he talks about an automatic declassification after 25 years from Clinton. The truth is, my people, absolutely nothing has come to light. And most importantly, the security around these locations and the security of these documents has increased tremendously. And what about the secrets? They seem to multiply as if they were protected by an invisible pact, a pact, in fact, that predates even the presidency of the United States. Then, as if all that weren't enough, there's a fact that also can't be ignored. What about these huge X's that appear, these lines that show up right there in the middle of the desert? And these X's, guys, they were detected by satellite images and they spread out across the lake bed, right? This is inside the lake, and this is a dry lake. And there are also tire marks that seem to have been made by gigantic machines that crossed the areas several times. So, local reports talk about metallic sounds coming from underground, brief tremors, and lights that move as if they were living organisms. And of course, the infamous vibrations that were felt by Kenny and Jerry when they were in those places. And there are those who say that these vibrations are the result of experimental propulsion. But there are others there who are bolder, who talk about the existence of dimensional portals, time travel, or even attempts to contact non-human intelligences. But the truth is, my people, we don't know what's down there. We don't know why there are so many people going in and out of there, right? And even if something manages to come out of there, Those people, they never talk about what they saw there again. Jerry Freeman himself, even though he was the guy who managed to get out of the area, he got out and he died shortly after he got out of there. And always, from very mysterious causes. Kenny disappeared over there. Jerry died after leaving and after talking about what he saw there. But those things, the stories remain, and mainly the stories echo with similarities that are very unsettling. And meanwhile, Area 51 keeps growing, The infrastructure of Area 51 is growing, security is increasing, Area 51 is becoming more and more protected. And maybe what's being kept there isn't just technology. Maybe it's something more, something there that has the ability to redefine our understanding of reality. And maybe that's why these things aren't revealed to us. Maybe in the end, Area 51 isn't just hiding the existence of aliens, but something much more disturbing. And even the very fact that our reality can be manipulated, redesigned, deprogrammed, and that over the deserts there in Nevada, someone or something is already doing exactly that. Now, beyond that, on July 18th, 2025, there were reports of a huge forest fire that spread through Nevada. There, around the local test and training range, the one that includes the famous Area 51. The fire, folks, was named Gothic Fire, something like Gothic Fire, right? It started on July 4th after a lightning storm that already burned approximately 36,000 acres of land. I'm talking about 14,500 hectares. And that fire was partially contained. That fire was restricted to about 20 to 25% of the military zone in that area. There, which is known as the Bureau of Land Management, and in that area of Area 51, the fire was controlled. In the rest of the desert, the fire still burns to this day, and the smoke remains visible. It can even be seen by satellite. And this smoke reached the Las Vegas area, and there. This region is an area with very strong winds, low humidity, and that makes it difficult to contain these flames. But the teams there are fighting this fire, a fire that has been burning for many, many days. And they are using targeted containment techniques and protecting these military infrastructures, which are very sensitive. Have you ever wondered what would happen if fire destroyed Area 51? Have you ever thought, guys, about what the fire won't destroy? Now, despite all of this, we also have the risk to the population, right? The population in that region, because there are some cities nearby that are close to Area 51. But that fire that happened over there, it has already sparked some unsolicited conspiracy theories. And the hypothesis, including the most popular one, involves a plane crash with an experimental aircraft or even an attempt to cover up alien evidence. The Hindustan Times reports that these circles of conspiracy theorists have raised theories about the crash of extraterrestrial spacecraft or even government false flag operations. Remember when I said in other live streams that Area 51 has changed locations? Do you remember that I told you that now we have a new Area 51 in another location in the United States? I brought it up in a recent live stream on the channel. I'll leave the link for you down below in the description in case you haven't watched it yet. So guys, after that news, right, that Area 51 caught fire, after that news that Area 51 was moved to another location, I started thinking, could this be a cover-up disguised as a forest fire? Because some media outlets are already treating this catastrophe that's happening at Area 51 as a natural fire fueled by dry vegetation and worsened by winds. And all of this is being heavily criticized on the internet because people are almost 100% sure that all this fire is nothing more, nothing less than a massive cover-up, right? And the United States Air Force is monitoring this place very closely, even during the fire. And maybe, guys, maybe this is a clue for our conspiracy-minded brains. Well, I want to know what you all think about all this. I want to know if you've ever heard about this extremely strange and mysterious vibration that happens there in the area. This vibration causes people to disappear. Some have gone missing. With Kenny, Jerry also felt this vibration, and this vibration comes from the ground. As if there was something hidden there, some machinery, something really colossal. In the underground of these three areas, Area 51, Area 52, and Area 6, that come together there, right? A triangular perimeter, a perimeter that is even connected by the entire underground there. It's something really very complex and at the same time very strange. I want to know all your opinions down here in the comments. Please leave plenty of comments. What do you think about this? And I'll see you then in our next Brides. Bye.